Boys and girls, we're back. We are back. Today we're looking at bullying stereotypes that makes no sense.
When I was a kid, every movie, show, or book taking place in a school had all of these bullying stereotypes that made no sense and I never saw when I went to school. The first stereotype that doesn't make sense to me is people getting bullied for wearing glasses and braces. I don't know if this was just me, but growing up, I was always jealous of kids that wore glasses and had braces. Unfortunately, I was cursed with 20/20 vision.
I mean, I think that braces, I think I've seen that a couple times. Not really a lot. As far as like bullying go, the bullying don't be too crazy. Of course, people be picking on people, but like it don't be like OD how it be in freaking like Darman, like how it be in movies and stuff like that. It don't be that. It don't be that bad.
And straight teeth. But when I saw these kids with their cool glasses frames and their colorful
glasses,
braces, I straight up felt like I was in an RPG with wood armor and everyone else was dripped out to the max. Also, every time I'm watching a show and someone's getting bullied for wearing glasses,
literally like Darman be gassing it crazy. Like it don't even be like that for real. I promise.
Go-to insult is four eyes.
Arthur's a four eyes. Arthur's a four eyes.
Like seriously, that's the best y'all could come up with? If you wear glasses, how do you even take offense to someone calling you four eyes? Like that's the weakest insult I've ever heard. And insults for braces aren't much better. Metal mouth, that actually sounds super intimidating.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in second grade. I don't even know why. Y'all can't blame me. I was a super jit. I was in school and it was somebody in there in the class that was picking with me, messing with me. He would call me four eyes. Mind you, I didn't even wear glasses. All right. I didn't even wear glasses. He kept calling me four eyes throughout the whole the second half of the school year. So one day I just had enough of it. I raised my hand. I was like, "Teacher, can I go to the bathroom?" And then once she said I could, I went to the bathroom and I cried for like 5 minutes. Mind you, I have no glasses on. I have them now, but at the time I ain't wear glasses. You know. So freaking stupid, bro.
It sounds like a nickname for a heavyweight boxer that exclusively wears grills. And I'm sure back when people wore heavier and had super dorky glasses, they got made fun of, but that was dinosaur times. Like glasses and braces have been cool for like at least 15 years. Another stereotype that makes no sense to me was like when kids would get made fun of for doing well in school. Like, you know what I'm talking about? In movies and shows, they'd be the Ben Shapiro looking kids that would try super hard in their classes, and then they'd get made fun of for caring about their grades and future. I'm pretty sure this stereotype is based on like no real world evidence. Like when I grew up, the most popular kids were also really good students. It's just that they didn't look like this. They just looked like normal kids. You know, it's possible to have a high GPA while also dressing well and not being a socially awkward weirdo. I'm pretty sure intelligence has always been celebrated throughout history. Like I have no clue where this came from. If there's any unks watching this video, please comment down below if there was ever a time in history when people got made fun of for trying in
no. I only when it came to like being a nerd, getting picked at for being a nerd, like it was only if you was one of those like teacher's pets joints. You one of those like the teacher forget their homework and then you remind the teacher, them types, yeah, we're gonna get on you. Well, I didn't do the bullying, but certain people in class would get on you for that. But nah, it was more so like, I don't know, definitely for being dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? The great shift happened, 2016, something like that. But back in my days, if you was dark skinned, oh, that's a quick little cook right there. I was dressed like I was a bum in freaking school, dressed like a pure bum. You know, we ain't had the bread like that, so every now and then people would kind of, you know what I'm saying, get on me about my fit. Fit was atrocious. But as far as like being smart, not really, no.
School. Also, I think we've become super liberal with the use of the word bullying. Like sometimes it's not bullying, but just teenagers being teenagers. When I was in middle school, kids would just call each other the most vile insults. Like the lunch table was basically just a COD lobby, but I wouldn't consider it bullying because everyone was participating. In a weird sense, it was kind of wholesome. I grew up in a pretty diverse place, but the only thing that really annoyed me about middle school was that we'd have these roast battles in the middle of class where everyone would just go around around roasting each other's ethnic stereotypes, which that part alone is fun. But my problem
that's
was
some
most
kids.
12-year-olds' geographical knowledge was awful. Like, I'm of Indian descent, but people would roast me using Middle Eastern stereotypes, and I kind of had to like hold their hand while they were roasting me and give them a geography lesson. Like, no, don't roast me for that. Roast me for this. The next stereotype that makes no sense to me would be all of the ways bullies torment their victims in media. Like, let's start out with the most iconic.
Yeah, where did that even
wedgie.
come from?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you're a dude and someone wedgies you and you just take that and do nothing
you
about
wanted it.
Maybe you deserve to get wedgied, bro. Like, if I ever have...
No, you wanted that wedgie, because I feel like that takes a lot of effort. You got to get behind him, pause, grab into his pants, pull it up. I don't know, bro. Yeah, I've never seen that. Like, wedging never happened in school. Getting your head dunked in the toilet never happened. Shoved in lockers. Our lockers weren't even big enough to shove people in. Swirlies, like none of that. That's just TV stuff, bro.
Have a son and he
Straight
gets
TV.
wedgied, I'm going to tell him he is obligated to start throwing hands immediately. No matter how much bigger the kid is, you simply cannot
That
take
is crazy.
that. I personally
That's
never
crazy.
saw anyone get wedgied during my time in school, and I think it's because most guys know that if they try that on another dude, they're not just gonna take that lying down like there's some nerd in a TV show. Now let's move on to
got banned like
stuffing
that, bro.
kids in lockers. Bro, what? My high school didn't have any lockers, and in middle school the lockers were too small to stuff anybody in. But I'm gonna be real, even in places with full-size lockers,
That's a crazy pick. Yeah, stuff like this never happened, bro. If anything, back in middle school, I was the plug. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a little, you know, those little small little basketball hoops. I would have like some tape and stick it to my locker, and in between class we'll be hooping. So I would have like a little small ball, and I would have like a little small basketball hoop taped to the locker, and we'd be running some games type joint. But if I didn't bring my ball, we just have a big crumpled up piece of paper, and we just hoop in between class, paper hooping. No, it was pretty fire, though.
Anyone's actually getting stuffed in a locker? Like, you know how hard it would be to shove someone into a locker and then try to close the door on them? If you get stuffed
Wait,
in
why
a
is she
locker,
Spider-Man?
You probably want to, bro. Then we got swirlies, which is like bordering on a CIA level human rights violation. I've never heard of anyone getting swirlied, but if that happened to you, like, I genuinely feel bad for you. Like, that's actually messed up.
Yeah, that's
But
crash
it's
outable.
so mythically evil that it's hard for me to believe that it was ever like a predominant bullying tactic.
That
now
never
let's
happened.
talk about hornets. If you don't know what hornets are, they're basically
Yeah.
when you roll a piece of paper super tightly and then wrap it with tape, and then with a rubber band you launch this lethal projectile at unsuspecting classmates. I remember I must have been 8 when my older brother
joint
showed
hurt.
me what a hornet was. He
Yeah.
asked me to take off my shirt and turn around, and at point blank range he launched a hornet at my back at full force.
That joint
At
hurt.
that
I ain't
moment,
gonna lie.
I fully understood why they called it a hornet, because it left a red mark on my back for 2 weeks. Safe to say, I showed all of my friends
Dang.
at school what a hornet was after that, and we'd play this game where we'd launch hornets at each other in class while the teacher was talking in an attempt to get each other to scream randomly in class. And I'm telling you,
This
there's
is-
nothing
it's crash
funnier
outable.
than one of your friends going, "Ah!" in the middle of class while the teacher is going over the Pythagorean theorem. But back to bullying. No one
That's
gets
crash
bullied
outable.
harder in school than the teachers. Like, I definitely had some teachers I didn't like, but geez, some kids would say the most vile stuff about teachers because they got a bad grade or got assigned some extra homework. And I think because kids are just evil by nature and don't feel empathy for their fellow man, they'll just create rumors about their teachers that are just way too out of pocket and borderline should be illegal to say that about someone. I remember some kids found out my 8th grade basketball coach got a DUI, and within hours
That's crazy.
his mugshot was all over Snapchat.
That's crazy.
People were roasting him so hard, and the craziest part was he was completely oblivious to it. No one would speak of it to his face, so as far as he was concerned, no one knew about it. High-key, being a teacher is kind of scary because you gotta know that a lot of your students are just gonna be Googling your information online because kids kind of have no boundaries. Speaking of boundaries,
fact.
you know what's boundless? Space. And you know what's in space? Stars. And you know what happens on stars? Wars. And you know who likes Star Wars? Nerd. Everybody. Because for the past decade or so, nerd culture is cool. I think this is the only bullying stereotype that has any sort of actual validity.
It's literally
behind
me.
it. For a long time, people with
That's me
nerdy
typing.
obsessions were ostracized from society. Like, you know those soy kids that are super into like Battlestar Galactica despite knowing like nothing about astronomy and have a physique that makes them look like they'd pass out from walking up a
Yeah. Back in my day, nah, you couldn't say you like anime, bro. Couldn't say you like anime, freaking any type of like card games, none of that though. If you were seen with any type cards, you doing Magic the Gathering, Pokemon TCG, Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like that, you talking about anime, people gonna look at you as one of those. I wouldn't, but back then they would definitely look at you as one of those. Now it's cool to like anime. It's cool to talk about freaking like obscure anime and stuff like that. I wish. Man, they would cook you, bro. They would be straight flaming you, man. I remember in freaking high school, there was of course they were all black, no racial. There was an all black table. Every day I was in there, bro. They would just roast. They would just roast each other, or they would just roast people that walk past. Every lunch, I seen somebody. He had a freaking I think he had a Minecraft bag. He had a Minecraft book bag. Started cooking him, bro. Flaming. I don't remember what it was, but it was on his head for a hot little minute. Like he going back and forth with the guys and actually made the guy with the backpack cry. Which is messed up, but you know, when you a jit, you just, you know, you don't really care about too much, honestly.
Staircase. For a long time, I'm sure those type of kids were ostracized from the other kids at school. I mean, anime didn't even become mainstream in the West until like the last 10 years. These days, you literally have rappers from Houston cosplaying. I wonder how nerds who grew up in the late 2000s feel. Like, you guys just missed out on being cool. Like, these days, if you play Minecraft and watch anime, you're definitely gonna find friends. And if you're not hideous, you can probably find a girlfriend also. If you graduated in like 2010, 2011, you just missed out on being cool. Like, I graduated in 2023, and one of the kids I knew in high school that pulled the most played Valorant all day and was like 5'5". Society has like completely culturally shifted in like the last 7 years or so. School hierarchies don't exist anymore. That's why I never understood these rich high school shows. Like, I can make an entire video about this, but I think you know what I'm talking about. You know these shows where the rich, popular teens at school navigate the hardships of being rich, popular, and attractive in upper class America. Like, bro, who is actually relating to this? And follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there once we hit 20,000 subs.
Nah, he's been spitting. He was spitting on a lot of this though. I will say, like, clicks, that's definitely a real thing, bro. Like, you know, you click up with certain people or like whatever type of interest you have, you'll click up with those individuals. Freaking, yeah. I remember it'd be like, I would be in class, you know what I'm saying? I would be in school playing, whip out my games and stuff like that. I remember people at school, mind you, I went to high school 2012, 2015. So people would be whipping out like the DS XLs, the 3DS, stuff like that. If you got caught with a freaking 3DS, you would be looked at as a freaking goofball on baby. Now, people don't really care that much. Everybody want to be streamers. Everybody want to be freaking YouTubers and stuff like that. But back in my day, before people got real like clout hungry, I remember people brought their people was bringing their laptop to school too, and people. I remember a senior year, 2016, somebody had brought their laptop and they was playing. It was some game. Like we had school issue iPads, so we would play games on the iPad, but that's because like everybody had it and it was like from school. But I seen people, they brought in, they was bringing a laptop playing in, I think it was playing League. I want to say PUBG when it came out. I'm not sure though. Not sure. I think PUBG 2015, 16, something like that. And people was looking like, yo, you're playing games? Like, why'd you bring a laptop just to play games? Like, you're weird. Now, niggas don't care. But hope y'all enjoyed it. This is a good video, man. W videos. Let me know how y'all experience of high school was. Appreciate y'all for watching.